Hi everybody, it's Hilary here from We Love Smart Keto, and today we're going to be talking about the secret ingredient to the keto lifestyle. I wonder if you can guess what it is. So let me know if you're watching live. Put a 1 in the comments if you're watching live and a 2 if you're watching on the replay. If you are watching on the replay, please play along as if you're watching live. Put your comments in, ask you questions, respond to the questions that I ask you. It's a lot more fun, I promise you, to do it that way. So today we're going to be talking, as I said, about the secret ingredient to the keto lifestyle. Very mysterious. Now, sometimes when we start keto, it can feel hard, can feel tough, can feel a bit tricky. But this one aspect to the keto lifestyle, I promise you, is so simple and so easy, and will really help you maximize the results that you get out of the keto things that you eat. So I've got a few people here on excuse me, on live. So hi, Rhonda. Great to see you here today, Rhonda. And we've got somebody else whose name I can't see, but welcome. And as I said, we're going to be talking about the secret ingredient that just feels amazing. So I want you to imagine, if you will, that you're in your favorite spot to relax. Maybe it's outdoors, maybe it's a beautiful balmy day, not too hot, not too cold. You're in the most comfortable position for you, whether that's sitting, whether that's lying down. And maybe you're watching, it's a beautiful blue sky with just the occasional cloud, floating by. The temperature's just perfect. And you're feeling super relaxed and, without a care in the world. And it just feels beautiful and amazing and relaxing. And you feel like you can handle absolutely anything. Is that a feeling that you would like to have for your keto lifestyle? Put yes in the comments if that's how you would like to feel, because I'd love to know, because, for me, that's how keto often feels. Of course, we all have our challenges, but in general, that's how the keto lifestyle feels for me. And that's because of this secret ingredient that I've got. And I promise you, I'm not selling you anything today. There's no money involved in this. There's no effort involved in this. In fact, it's, for many people, completely effortless. Some people, it's a little bit trickier, but I'm going to talk to you about some of those things about this ingredient. There is always a catch, time, money, effort. And the one thing that you need for this is time. I wonder if you can guess what it is that I'm talking about. It's very simple. We do it every day. And some of us do it for more time than others do it for. And you're going to just laugh when I tell you actually what it is. But actually, it's really one of the most important things that we can do to have success on our keto lifestyle. And it is, you guessed it, I've just, where I am now, because I'm on a different time scale to you, I've just got up from doing it. And it is, in fact, no, it's not meditation. Good guess, not meditation. Meditation is also helpful with keto lifestyle, but it is, in fact, sleep. Very simple. Doesn't require any money. Doesn't require any effort. And I'll talk to you, if you have trouble going to sleep, I'm going to give you some tips for how to help you go to sleep. It is, in fact, just takes time, and we need to do sleep. So that's why I said it does take some time. So how many hours a night do you sleep? Put in the comments. Do you sleep more than 8? Do you sleep 9? Are you one of those? Have you got a teenager? Are you still a teenager? Do you sleep 10 or 11, like many of us used to do when we were younger? Do you sleep 6, 5? Let me know in the comments how many hours a night that you sleep. I'd be really interested to know, because the science is in, right? The science is in. Let's have a talk about the benefits of sleep, and then I'll tell you how many hours a night science tells us that we need to sleep. So there are many, many, many benefits to sleep, for memory retention, for hormone regulation, for all sorts of things. But I'm going to talk particularly today about how sleep really is the secret ingredient to the keto lifestyle. And it's for 2 reasons. One is that it helps regulate our appetite. So I don't know if you've ever sort of, had a really late night, maybe you've been working late, or you've had to, the kids have kept you up, or, you've been worried about something and you haven't been able to sleep well. And so the next day, maybe you've only had 3 or 4 hours sleep, and the next day you're pretty exhausted. And then somebody offers you a cookie and you're like, oh, well, why not? I'm going to have it. Even though you're not really hungry, you sort of have less sort of willpower, if you like, because you're feeling really tired, or actually just feel hungrier. That often happens for me if I do have a bad night's sleep. I just feel like I'm hungry and I need to eat more. And that's not just your lack of willpower. That is actually your body, and your body not getting enough sleep. And so your body responds by going, well, I must need some more energy in order to keep awake. And so your body tells you that it's hungrier. So just by getting a good night's sleep really helps regulate your appetite. So that's a really excellent reason for making sure you don't watch that last Netflix show and you actually go to bed on time. Really, really important. You can, binge watch a bit more the next day. Make sure you get that sleep in. Or, if you're doing some work late at night, which I often am, think, can this wait? Because my sleep is more important than getting this task done. The other reasons, appetite regulation is one of the key reasons. Do you know what the other reason is? I wonder if you can guess the other really key reason why sleep is so important to the keto lifestyle. And that is because it actually regulates our metabolism. Sleep at night kind of resets our metabolism. And if we don't get enough sleep, that on its own can increase our resistance to insulin. So we want to be sensitive to insulin so that, our insulin levels go up and down, so that, if we do eat a little bit of carbohydrate, that insulin level goes up and then not too high and then comes down quite rapidly, so that we're quite responsive. And if we don't get enough sleep, our body kind of goes into defense mechanism and says, well, I must need more energy. So it must need more storage. I need to protect the body. And so it keeps the insulin levels higher, and we're more insulin resistant if we're chronically sleep deprived. If you miss the occasional night of sleep, you'll feel that kind of hunger, but it won't necessarily impact too significantly on your insulin resistance. It's when we're really chronically sleep deprived in particular that it's really important. And for years, a decade or so ago, I was chronically sleep deprived because I had so many things to do in my life. I had a really busy career. I love to get up early and exercise in the morning. I'd be up and out and, out of the house and with my boot camp crew by 5:45 a.m. in the morning, do that till 7:30, have a shower, have breakfast, go to work all day, go out in the evening, and not go to bed till midnight. So I was classically getting 5 hours sleep a night. And I did, in fact, get sick at the end of that and realized that that was really not a sensible way to live life. So really important to get enough sleep, both for appetite regulation and to make sure that our system has our parasympathetic nervous system has time to rest and digest and reset our system, our metabolic system, and get it all working nicely in concert. And you know what the beautiful thing is? That most people absolutely love sleeping. Like, there's nothing better than a good night's rest. So how do you know if you're getting enough sleep? How do you know if you're getting the right amount of sleep? Now, the recommendations is to get 8 hours or more sleep per night. And preferably to get, I know that can be really challenging if you've got small kids like I do and a busy life. That can be very challenging. But 8 hours is the recommendation. You can be sleep deprived in the short term, so you can catch it up on the weekend, but you cannot catch it up over the long term. If you are chronically sleep deprived over weeks and months, you can't catch it up. So it's very important to focus on it every day and try and get enough sleep. So let me know in the comments, how much sleep do you get a night? Do you get 8 hours or more? Do you get 7 hours? Do you get 6? I know particularly if you're a shift worker, that can be really challenging. And we won't talk today about shift work, but obviously shift work and, people like flight attendants, there's so many flight attendants at the moment, but people who travel through time zones, also, very challenging for them to get the right quality and the right amount and the right quality of sleep. So what we're going to talk about a little bit is how do you know that you're getting enough sleep? So one of the ways that you know that you're getting enough sleep is if you didn't set an alarm clock, and I never do actually, but if you didn't set an alarm clock, would you wake up at the same time each day? So, for example, I always wake up about the same time every day, even though it's quite early. That's the time that works for me. And I don't worry about it. I know that I'm going to be up in time to do all the things that I need to do. And so I don't bother to set an alarm clock. I do have a small child alarm clock, but these days, thankfully, she sleeps in a little bit longer than she used to. I used to always have the bouncing alarm clock wake me up at some ungodly hour, but thank goodness we're sort of past that phase now. But for those of you that have young children, I really sympathise. I completely understand what that's like. So one thing is, do you wake up at the same time every day without an alarm clock? And do you wake up feeling refreshed and ready to go? That's also a good sign that you're getting enough sleep. A sign that you're not getting enough sleep is if you can only function when you get up in the morning with your caffeine. So if you need to have a cup of coffee, a cup of tea to really get you moving, that's really a sign that perhaps you're not getting enough sleep. So perhaps rather than focusing on the additions, the stimulants, just focus on perhaps going to bed an hour earlier, half an hour earlier, and trying to get enough sleep get an extra hour or two in the night. The other way that we know if we're not getting enough sleep is if sort of mid-morning you have that kind of plunge, like about 11 o'clock, you suddenly feel really tired again. It's natural to have a dip about 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. That's a circadian rhythm. Our internal body clock has a dip at 3 in the morning and has a dip in 3 in the afternoon. So it's not unusual in the afternoon to feel, to have that hour or two where you feel a little bit lower. But if you're feeling that lowness at sort of, 10, 11 o'clock in the morning, then perhaps you're not getting enough sleep. And as we know, it's really important for keto and to maximize the benefits of what we're putting in our mouth to be able to get enough sleep. So I hope that's helpful. Give me a yes in the comments if you're finding this interesting and useful. I know we're not talking about food, but the keto lifestyle is not just about food. It's about a holistic way, a whole of body, a whole of life way of living. And sleep is really the secret ingredient. I can't stress that too strongly. So I've talked about this before, but here's some tips for a good night's sleep. One is go to bed on time, right? So go to bed at the same time every night. Even set an alarm for going to bed rather than an alarm for getting up. If you have a choice between setting an alarm to go to bed or an alarm to wake you up in the morning, set the alarm for going to bed, because all sleep is not equal, and the sleep that we get at the beginning of the night is super important. So try and go to bed at a regular time. And then also try and have a cool bedroom, because it's our body temperature drops at night. And so if the room's too warm, then I think it's about 20 degrees. I'm not sure what that in centigrade. I'm not sure what that is in Fahrenheit. I should have checked that before I came on. But a cool room is really important. And so something you can do to be able to go to sleep a little bit better beforehand is have a hot shower, a hot bath, about an hour before you go to bed, because your temperature will raise and then it will go down. And so the difference will be in that temperature is really important in helping us slide into sleep. In the ancient days, we didn't have artificial light. So it's important, again, to limit the amount of artificial light, particularly the amount of screen light that we have before we go to bed. So, try and keep away from your tablets, your computers, your phones, the screens of those, at least for an hour or two, a couple of hours at least before you go to bed. I know it's difficult to do, or you could put your screen onto its blue light filter. I actually have blue light lens in my glasses, so I have that kind of limited all the way a filter in my lenses of my spectacles to help limit the amount of screen light that I get exposed to. So super important. And then the other one is the bedroom is just for sleeping and any other bed-related activities, if you know what I mean. But, don't read a book in bed. Sometimes reading for a little bit is okay, but don't read an entire novel. When I was a kid, I used to read all night in bed. Great, thank you. Yes, is an answer we've got there. That's fantastic. So I used to read all night in bed, and then I'd wake up super tired and be terrible for school. But, it's a slight obsession of mine around reading. And then the other thing that I was going to say is, so limit screen time before bed. Try not to eat for a few hours. Don't eat for a few hours before bed, because we want our system, our digestive system, to kind of empty out over the night and have an opportunity to rest and digest. So, really sleep hygiene is super important. If you do have insomnia or difficulty sleeping, I hope that these tips will help you a little bit. I know that not being able to sleep well is not fun, and it's a difficult thing. We're not going to talk too much about that today. We may go into it another day. But if you can avoid sleeping pills, please try to do that. Try some of these other things, these relaxation things, these, gentle slide into bed, into sleep, not lots and lots of activity, lots of screen time, lots of food, and then, now I'm going to try and sleep. Like, it's really not going to work. And also caffeine, limit the amount of caffeine. I never drink caffeine after lunch because I find it just keeps me awake. So I have coffee in the morning. I don't need it in order to keep me fresh in the morning, but I just enjoy a couple of cups of coffee, black coffee in the morning. But really limit caffeine, limit screen time, limit food before you go to bed, and have like a ritual, if you like. It's good to have a routine, a rhythm, a ritual before you go to sleep. So let me know in the comments if you have a bedtime ritual, a routine that you do every night that helps you slide gently into the land of slumber. I'd be really interested to know how you deal with it. So I hope you found that helpful. As I said, I promised you, I teased you at the beginning that I was going to tell you the secret ingredient to the keto lifestyle. And I really believe that this is a superpower for keto. It will really help get the results that you're looking for. It's gentle, it's easy, it's pleasurable, and it will also support you in other areas of your life. It will, it will help with your relationships if you're fresh and well. It will help with your work. It will help with your energy levels. It just helps with so many things. Sleep is really something in our modern lifestyle that we've undervalued and regarded it as not important. But it is super important. It's super critical for a healthy and long lifestyle. So I hope you found that really, really interesting. Let me know your comments. Let me know your questions. If you're following along live, thanks for your questions and comments. And if you're watching on the replay, please do let us know your questions and comments. I'll either pick them up here in this thread, or I might come back and do another Facebook Live and answer them another time. So it's great to have you here. Thanks so much for playing along with me. And I wish you a wonderful night's rest. See you soon.